EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to historic Baltimore, Maryland, and M&T Bank Stadium. The two teams emerging from their respective tunnels a minute ago to the approval of this Baltimore crowd. They're all set as their Ravens will match up with the Cincinnati Bengals. The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. They will throw on first down with Burrow. This goes out wide for Mixon. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8.
Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook. Pick out the plays that work best for you. And you know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front and linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
This is counter. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. These two teams met in Baltimore. You might remember earlier in the year with the Ravens winning that game. So a win here in Baltimore would give them the season sweep. Here's 2nd and 10. Play action. It's Burrow. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. And early on, they're picking up right where they left off last week.
And I know a lot of coaches say each game is its own. You don't really have carryover. This feels like carryover. So much confidence from the previous game that they're using to their advantage now.
So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 right at the 40. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. The completion good. This is Eric Ebron. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Good job there to locate his tight end, Charles, in the middle of the field.
Yeah, he has good pass-catching abilities, and if they're able to continue to find him here in the early going, I think it'll help out his teammates out on the perimeter. You can take the big shots later if he occupies their attention.
Mixon with a first down and more. And finally taken down at the 15. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
From the red zone now, here's Burrow, first down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. That was play number 7 on this drive, and it got him 7 yards. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it, they love it, because now everyone gets locked in. The confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they're looking at the sidelines thinking to themselves and expressing, let's keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well.
The quick throw by Burrow is complete. Touchdown, Bengals! A great play there. His second touchdown on the season. And the Bengals take it right down and score on the opening drive. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Duvernay going to sit on this in the end zone, so it'll come out to the 25. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Off play action. Jackson. And this one's incomplete. These two teams, you might recall, met up back in September in Week 3. And it was the Ravens getting the road victory in that one. So now they'll look to finish off the season sweep here in Baltimore. Following the incomplete pass, here they go again. 2nd and 10 from the 25. Throwing is Jackson. Open man is Duvernay. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. Now Jackson. And that is incomplete.
That was well played, but that was also an example of a corner who understands his coverage, realized he had support behind him, and could be a little more aggressive in the shorter zone, and did exactly that, knocking that pass away.
And taken right on the 30. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. The Bengals drive about to get going. They're riding a 2-game winning streak into this Thursday nighter. How easy is it when you're on a roll to stay on a roll given the quick turnaround?
Well, you would think it'd be pretty easy because everyone's locked in practice and meetings because everyone feels good about themselves. And for coaches, this is where they have to tell themselves, don't add too much. Don't worry about game plans as much as players. So look at your play sheet and think, give it to the guys who play best, and don't worry about the rest of it.
And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up. Defense going to call a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd. Now Burrow. Through the contact, it's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. On 4th down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially, and the Ravens, they'll take over. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going.
And they are losers of 2 straight coming into this Thursday night game. Is it more difficult, CD, when you take a losing streak into a quick turnaround game like this?
It certainly is, because you don't get time to work on the issues that you've had throughout the season that have caused you to have the record that you're having. You can't really get those set. So now you're trying to minimize those and maximize what you've been doing well. And I remember a game recently where one of the assistant coaches said to the head coach, forget our running back rotation. This guy has a hot hand, and they rode him to a victory. Those are things you have to look out for in games like this.
And going deep downfield for Boykin. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
Almost feels like anything you can do, we're going to try and match or do better. We've already seen 1 touchdown pass from the opposition. They tried to equal it on that throw.
2nd and 10. To throw is Jackson. Going for Boykin, but it is intercepted. Picked off by Von Bell.
That was just one of those interceptions from our perspective here. We got a good view at the 50-yard line mid-level that quarterback and receiver were not on the same page.
Just by his reaction, I'm talking about the quarterback, he expected something different from his receiver, whether he expected him to break in, out, deeper, shorter. They'll determine that on the sideline. But bottom line, you could see that he thought he'd be in a different spot, except the defender was not his intended target.
They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
From the 17, Burrow. This pass complete to Higgins. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Mixon. And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1.
It is definitely hard to find space near the goal line. You always want to have a guy in the game running it who can create his own.
Second and goal from the 1. And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. Touchdown! Joe Mixon, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Bengals, they widen their lead. And this is no good. Missed the PAT, so they fail to connect, and this remains a 13-0 game. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. On the return, Devin Duvernay. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown, so decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words, early on. So they have to decide, do we even need to change game plan, or do we just need to execute better and try and get back in this game?
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Jackson now. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll just get rid of it. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They look lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave them trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Now it's Jackson.
That ball caught. It's Mark Andrews, the tight end. And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Yeah, these are the types of plays they're going to need to hit on if they're going to get back into this game. It hasn't been the greatest of first halves, but this is a nice throw here on third down, and they keep the drive going.
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson.
This will go to Henry out wide.
And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45.
I like the play design there. They occupied the defense downfield, everyone trying to account for someone. But unfortunately, they didn't account for the running back slipping out of the backfield. And he was absolutely unnoticed and wound up getting big yards on that play.
A first down carry for Henry. He takes this for about 6 down inside the 40.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Second down, they go again with Henry.
And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
But when you go from 2nd and 4 to 3rd and 3, that just tells you who won that battle on the last play, huh?
Yeah, first round went to the offense, second round the defense. A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3. Now it's Jackson. Buying time to his left. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sack back at the 38.
Joseph Osai.
Able to get in there and drop him behind the line. And he's going to miss this one. That is no good. Well outside the left upright. And this score will stay right where it is. So an empty possession there. What do you think went wrong, Charles?
Well, it looked like maybe the plant leg might have given way just a little. And when that happens, guys have a tendency to pull through the ball to compensate. And in doing so, sent this one off target.
Credited with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Here's 2nd and 9.
Now it's Burrow.
Over the middle, he finds Higgins.
And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup. That time they hit him out of the slot on the drag.
And that route takes some fortitude from the guy running it, because he knows he's going through the briar patch, as I like to call it, right? He's trying to work his way through all that traffic, and people want to put a little contact on him. Really well done.
On 3rd down, Burrow. He finds his target, Ebron. And he takes it all the way down to the 3. A big play there for Cincinnati.
You can feel the effort all the way up here. He tried his best to get there. Didn't quite make it, but down around the 2-3-yard line, gotta love the effort. And especially...
And he is in. Touchdown, Bengals.
Joe Mixon
with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Bengals add on to their lead.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And that pushes the lead up to an even 20. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
Taken at the goal line. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Trey Hendrickson.
Able to run him down for a loss of 12 that time. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. And he slings one that's incomplete.
Well, as we get ready for 3rd down, let's go back and recap here. The sack on the first play of this drive, that threw a wrench in what they were trying to accomplish because they were compelled to throw the ball on 2nd down. A running play was not in the works. And that incompletion set up another passing down here on 3rd and long.
And he gets this one just shy of the 35 to the 34. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's Jackson. And going deep downfield for Boykin. And that's caught inside the 30. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Miles Boykin, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Ravens get a late score here in the final minute of the first half. Tucker able to connect on the extra point. And that cuts this lead down to 13. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Bengals drive about to get going. And with a 2-score lead already, they may just look to get this thing to the locker room. And he finds his target. It's Marquise Goodwin. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Burrow will throw. He completes it to Boyd. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half. Final play of the half for Burrow and company. And that will be incomplete. So we have reached halftime here. It's the visiting Bengals out in front. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. The Ravens set to receive the football, trailing here as we resume action in the 3rd quarter. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And right out of the gate, they face what you'd think could be a pretty important drive.
I would say so. You know, they're down 2 scores. That's not the end of the world. It wasn't the strongest of first halves, but for them to start clawing back, they've got to start putting a little pressure on that defense, start cutting into this deficit. You can't have 3 and outs and expect to get that done.
Henry again on 2nd down. And he works his way forward for a couple up past the 30.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Jackson. And he's got his tight end. That's Andrews. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that.
They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. Now on 4th down, they throw the deep ball, but it winds up to be incomplete. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Bengals are going to get it back in terrific field position. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Burrow going to give this to Mixon. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
He's had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. 2nd down and 4. They'll stay on the ground, Mixon again, and tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
They'll try and run for it with Connor. And he will have a 1st down at about the 21-yard line.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Now Burrow on 1st down. And he will find his man on the end route, complete. 7 yards the pickup there. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Burrow on play action. Rolling to his right. And oh, it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And the Ravens are going to take over here on the INT at their own 5-yard line.
Well, I get what he was trying to do. He was moving to his right and trying to shift the coverage, but instead he shifted the coverage also to the right and threw right into it for an interception.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. To throw again on 2nd down. Jackson. And this is going to be hauled in by the tight end Andrews. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. Now Jackson on 1st down. Room to run past midfield. And finally brought down right at the midfield stripe.
Couple of 1st downs right in succession, and this is an offense that can really use a good drive, and they're off to a fast start here.
From midfield now, here's Jackson. Flushed out right. And he wisely will throw that one away.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
To throw again is Jackson. That's complete, left side to Bateman. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. Jackson from the shotgun. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked up by Dane Cruikshank. And they will finally get him as he's all the way down near the 40-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
Here we go. Ready?
Mixon with a first down carry. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
2nd down and 5.
Again, it's Mixon. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line.
45 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
Well, CD, a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but, man, his first step is so quick, too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed getting to the perimeter and turning upfield, but also when you run those inside runs, he can get into the secondary so fast the linebackers don't have a chance to react.
And now they will throw it with Burrow. Ebron with it over the middle. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup.
This is the National Football League on EA Sports.
A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. And he is not going to get through here on try number 1. They stop him at the goal line. No gain there as he kept it himself at 2nd down. Well, no doubt here in the 4th quarter, this is a huge defensive series.
Hey, they can read the scoreboard. They realize if they give up a field goal here, this game might be out of reach. They understand the stakes and are playing accordingly.
And he's going to be shoved back short of the goal line. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. To throw is Hill. And he's got it. Touchdown, Bengals. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year.
And the Bengals are closing in on a 3rd straight win as they widen the gap further here in the 4th quarter. McPherson on for the point after.
And that one pushes the lead up to an even 20. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
The return is Duvernay. And able to get this out to the 25.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
Now, this game went off the rails early for them and never really got back on track. And these fans, they were expecting to be on the other side of the scoreboard. But that is not the case as we play on here in this 4th quarter.
And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
On 2nd and 12, Jackson.
He drops this one off underneath here for Hill.
And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line. From the gun on 3rd down, Jackson. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And the Bengals grab it. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line.
All right, you've had to put up with me in this booth. I'm going to try and be simple this time and succinct. It simply has not been their night.
No, I think that fumble's kind of indicative of how this whole evening's gone, isn't it?
Without a doubt. I mean, they've tried, but nothing has ever really taken throughout the game. That's why they're down so big.
And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him.
Well, it may seem a little unorthodox to some people. Got the lead, fourth quarter, yet he's still firing away. I think he believes that's the best way to go ahead and win the game.
Yeah, a lot of coaches say, and that is caught. He's got it for a Bengal touchdown. Marquise Goodwin, his second touchdown on the season. And the Bengals take advantage of the turnover to put up 6. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And that stretches the lead all the way up to 27. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded right at the goal line.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. This one certainly has not gone according to script. You would have thought on paper that this offense would have its way here, but they certainly have not, and they trail big. After this, it figures to be a quiet trip home. 9 yards is the pick up there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid-type player. Half defensive back that covers passes, and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play. Well, as we've learned over the years, just because a guy plays left tackle doesn't mean he doesn't have run-blocking abilities, and we just saw it there. Controlled the line of scrimmage, created a big gain.
That's kind of a bonus. He's there to protect that high value that you have back under center, but he creates space in the run game.
Yeah, not only can he dance, he can mash, too.
So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down.
There's no question that coming into this game, this defense was pretty vocal about its desire to take this running back out of his game, and all that pregame wolfing has turned into results.
On 2nd and 15 now. Jackson, and going deep downfield for Boykin. And this is caught on the sideline. Are the feet in? They are. What a catch. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Miles Boykin with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Ravens get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this 4th quarter deficit. Tucker with an extra point. And the lead now down to 20. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. From the 10. The Bengals drive about to get going. And this game, it could very well turn out to be the shocker of the weekend. Not too many expecting them to come in here and win. And they're not just winning, they're dominating. And now trying to finish this one off. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
On 2nd and 11 now. Burrow. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. And the Bengals on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd and 11. They go play action with Burrow. Eluding the pressure right. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
Oh, that's got to frustrate him a little bit because they nearly got to him there, and it would have been the first sack of the game. Instead, they're able to influence the release, and they did force the incomplete pass.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Fielded at the 33. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. And now here's a deep shot that's complete. And
in for the Ravens touchdown. Miles Boykin, 62 yards. And the Ravens have got it back to a 2-score game here in the fourth.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that cuts this lead down to 13. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Right after the touchdown to extend their lead, now maybe opening the door a little bit there by allowing starting field position at the 40. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40.
That one looks like he'll throw here. Slant pass to Boyd.
And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45.
But when you're up by 2 scores in the fourth quarter and you're going to throw the football, expect to see a lot of man coverage, because usually what comes along with man coverage is pressure. So if you're a play caller and you want to keep throwing the football, that's fine. Just make sure your offensive line understands they're going to get additional guys running at the quarterback.
It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets them to 2nd and 4.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine.
Over the middle, complete.
That's Goodwin. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 24-yard line.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down. Stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago, because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
So this one in the win column now for the Cincinnati Bengals. And this coaching staff, CD, I think you'd agree, pleased with this overall effort.
Oh, I think they're more than pleased, right? They've got to look at each other like, wow, we just pulled this one off in a big way. Great job of motivating. Even better.